Walk into a preschool and you will see chaos, colorful blocks tumbling, loud voices, constant motion. Society often labels this environment as unstructured playtime or even glorified babysitting, but that label misses a rigorous professional reality. Beneath the finger painting and snack times lies an invisible architecture. Every seemingly simple activity in this room is built on a deliberate framework of highly specialized educator skills. This animated timeline charts human brain plasticity over a lifespan. The curve peaks dramatically between birth and age 5, a finite, unrepeatable window for a human's neurological and emotional trajectory. When we zoom tightly into the 3 to 5 age bracket, we can track how specific daily inputs, like resolving a toy dispute or completing a puzzle, map directly onto the formation of dense neural pathways. Early childhood educators are actively shaping the physical structure of the brain during this exact window. Preschool educators act as the foundational architects of human development. To understand how they built this foundation, we have to look at their first and most intimate circle of impact, the one-on-one interaction during a moment of distress. Think of a toddler experiencing a full emotional meltdown. Managing this crisis requires patience and empathy. While often viewed as passive personality quirks, in the classroom, they function as applied, clinical tools. This abstract diagram models a biological process called co-regulation. The erratic, jagged wave represents a dysregulated child's nervous system. An educator uses their own steady physiological state to stabilize the child, slowly pulling that chaotic rhythm down until it matches their own baseline. Without first establishing this one-on-one emotional safety, higher-level cognitive learning is biologically impossible for the child. Once individual safety is secure, the educator's focus expands outward to encompass the entire physical classroom, a space vibrating with the unpredictable collective energy of a dozen toddlers. To corral and harness that energy, teachers rely on a specific mechanism, the intersection of classroom management and creativity. This top-down schematic reveals how a classroom's physical zones act as structural funnels. The reading corner, the play area, and the tables are precisely placed to naturally direct movement flow, deliberately diffusing high-energy collisions before a behavioral issue even starts. Creativity acts as the functional engine within this physical layout. A sudden transition from free play to lunch is rarely handled with rigid commands. It is engineered through a short song or a quick game, seamlessly redirecting the group's focus. Effective classroom management creates a self-sustaining ecosystem where chaotic energy is actively transformed into productive focus. The final boundary of the educator's influence reaches past classroom walls directly to the child's parents. Bridging the gap between the school ecosystem and the home environment demands another professional skill: highly targeted communication. Parents face a massive information asymmetry. They are completely blind to their child's daily routine. The educator must observe a child's invisible, incremental micro-progress, regulating frustration during a tough puzzle, and translate that raw data into a tangible update for the family. By constantly feeding this translated data back to the home, the teacher builds a continuous web of trust. The child remains supported by a consistent set of expectations, even after they physically leave the school building. Mastering this external communication doubles the educator's impact. It aligns the child's entire support network toward the exact same developmental goals. When we bring our focus back to the individual child, we can observe the cumulative effect of moving through these concentric circles of support. The synthesis of these skills produces a specific, permanent result: the child's internalized sense of confidence. By providing a secure emotional and physical environment, the educator allows the child to shift their energy away from mere survival and toward independent mastery of their world. The empathy, the ecosystem management, the parental communication, none of these were permanent fixtures. As this architectural illustration demonstrates, those skills acted as temporary scaffolding, built to hold the child steady until their own central pillar stands alone. There is an exact tipping point when a child sheds the need for external regulation. They step forward, capable of taking independent, self-assured action. When we evaluate the early educator, we must recognize the reality of their profession. This work requires immense intellectual rigor, complex strategic planning, and grueling emotional labor. The work in these classrooms establishes the permanent psychological foundations of future generations.